Hey guys, Ashlane here coming at you today because finally I made it to Legendary Arena and I did it with an epic win streak using this Swarm deck. I won 9 matches in a row. To get to Legendary Arena, I was around 2750 or so starting out. Then I went on the winning streak and I got here to Legendary Arena. I want to show you a couple of the replays. You can see win after win after win after win after win. Pretty nice. Now, I had a couple losses. Now, what happened was I was using the deck that I shared with you guys yesterday. We're using the Golem and the P.E.K.K.A. together in a really heavy deck, and a really heavy elixir cost deck. But then I had those 2 losses in a row, and I did something you should never do, and I went ahead and I switched up the entire deck. I switched it back to the Swarm, but I made some changes to the deck, and I am loving this deck. Now I'm going to be using it in Legendary Arena, hopefully climbing up and up and up in the leaderboards. Granted, I'm only level 9, but we'll see how high we can get up in the leaderboard, and here it is. We'll go over every card in the deck. So it's obviously the Barbarian Hut and the Goblin Hut. I also have the Mirror. Then I have the Fireball as my only damage-dealing spell. I have my Hog, my Barbarian, my Spear Goblin, and my Minion Horde. So you'll see through these 2 replays that I'm going to share with you guys basically how the deck works. And these are against people with the same level of cards as I have for the most part, so the matches are pretty fair. Now you can see that I'm starting the match out with my Barbarian Hut and my my Goblin Hut. Now the idea here is I have the Hog to use if I want to, and I always have that Hog ready to use in the opposite lane than my Huts are going in. But I don't want to use the Hog unless I feel that my opponent is really low on elixir. So I'm gonna try to get a feel for where he's at elixir wise. So when I saw him drop that elixir pump, I knew he'd be really low, so I dropped the Hog at that point, and it was a good move because I did a lot of damage to his left tower there. So this is all about a math game, right? You always want to be aware of how much elixir your opponent has and then try to snag him in an opportune time with that Hog. Otherwise, you can wait until the 1 minute mark, just play some defense, be good with elixir management through the first 2/3 of the match, and then when the last minute comes up, that's when this deck really shines. That's when you have the double elixir, and then it's Hut City. It's the Barbarian Hut, the Goblin Hut. It's absolutely crazy. So what we do here is, you can see at this point he froze my troops, but I still have a decent amount. I'm kind of protecting the left tower. I know I have his left tower down, but I'm going to sneak in. Like I said, I thought he was lower on elixir than he was there, obviously. That's a valuable thing on watching these replays, right? When you're watching the replay, you can actually go back and look, okay, well, Ash, he actually did have a lot of elixir there. What were you thinking, when you thought he had a little bit? So it teaches you to be more cognizant of how much elixir they have left. It actually works out really well. So you can see at this point, we finally hit the last minute, and I have an epic run of Barbarians and Spirit Goblins going in the left lane. I'm kind of going for his King Tower at this point. I have this huge army made. I dropped the Hog Rider. I'm trying to overwhelm his King Tower. As you can see, I dropped that Fireball, and now I have like 1 million Spirit Goblins and the Hog. And the beautiful thing about the Mirror is you can use it on the Hog too. So basically, these spawner decks are absolutely insane, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of standalone episodes just on the spawner decks, so make sure you stay tuned for that kind of stuff. Really showcase each card and how it acts individually in this deck. Now, you know what I'll do is, I'll just do it, instead of showing you a replay, I'll do a live match here if we can find an opponent. Hopefully I win, but you'll hopefully see the magic of this deck. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I love this composition. Oh, it's Boottramp. Shout out to Boottramp if you're watching. Boottramp is a Boom Beach YouTuber, and I think he's doing some Clash Royale as well. So Boottramp was actually with me at ClashCon. So you can see here that I'm going to start out again with the Barbarian Hut. Then I'm going to wait a little bit. I don't really want to drop the back-to-back Barbarian Hut unless he doesn't play anything. Then I know that I have a... see, I don't know what he's doing right here. Minions... and then he drops the knight way back there. So I'm going to go, okay, now he comes with a balloon and a charging knight. So that's okay. We're going to counter the knight with the barbarians, counter the balloon with the minion horde, and we're looking pretty good there. In fact, we're going to be able to turn this into a little offensive move. Let's hit him with a hog rider on the left side, see if he has an answer for that. I'm going to spear goblin too because I have the barbarians leading the way. So the barbarians and the spear goblins backing up the hog rider. Let's see if I can do any damage here. This is a sneaky little damage, a sneaky little offensive push by me here. You can see a lot of people aren't too scared when just 1 or 2 barbarians are hitting their tower with 3 spear goblins. But look at that. I did a lot of damage with those 2 troops. So now I'm going to start rebuilding my huts here. What the idea with this deck is the barbarians, right? Let's discuss the barbarian card in this deck as I try to play defense here. Now look at my spirit goblins first, doing some work against this minion horde. I'm not even going to defend against them, which is rare that you don't have to defend against the minion horde, but the spirit goblins do a good job distracting. They weren't able to do too much damage to my tower. So the idea with the barbarian card, the last minute of the match is really where the barbarian card, not the barbarian hut, the barbarian card shines. What you can do is, look at what I've got going on right here, right? So I have the 3 huts on the board, gonna fireball, I'm going to, is it almost time to, let's see, I'm trying to think here as I play. Here it is. No, he dropped the minions, forget it. I was going to say, here it is. So what you want to do is find when he's a little bit down on elixir, and then drop that barbarian card, and then totally overwhelm his tower. That's the idea. So I'm going to barbarian right now, and watch how it goes here. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barbarians and like 100 spirit goblins. Granted, he used his arrows, but I was able to get that tower down. That's why I love this deck. I've still been hammering away at his right tower. That's what I want to have happen here. I want to keep picking off his right tower as my main offensive concentrates on the left tower. That's what I want to have happen. This is exactly how the match should be going if you're playing this deck correctly. I'm going to build a instead I'm going to do the barbarians over here. Stop that charging prince, and then I'll drop a minion horde, and this will be GG Boot Tramp. Good game, Boot Tramp. Love this deck, guys. Can you tell it? Can you tell from my voice that I love this deck? I love it. Got me over up into Legendary Arena, and hopefully much further. Guys, I'll bring you, like I said, a standalone tutorial on this deck coming real soon. So thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, take care, guys.